to another episode of the Darts World. And I'm AJ Urmston-Toft, and following me once again is Paul Woodage. How are we doing today?
Good evening, AJ. How are you doing?
All good. It's been a busy few weeks, both personally and in the world of darts. It's just keeps going and going.
Yes, indeed. There's lots happening. You can't skip it in MODUS, AD, ADC, WDF, youth, and obviously PDC. There's never a dull moment.
No, it's all about the TLAs, the three-lettered acronyms, and we're going with the first one of the PDC, which is Professional Darts Corporation.
PDC News.
Yep, okay. So we look back at, I guess, the World Cup was the last thing we spoke about in depth, wasn't it?
Yes, you had the World Cup of Darts, and my good friend Arthur was predicting a Luke avalanche, but Germany scuppered them.
He did, and if you recall what I said, who I said was going to win, they won.
Yes, yeah, Northern Ireland.
I put that in the group chat straight away as soon as last start went in.
Exactly. And you've got to say, I mean, I think the way all the games were played, but especially that final where Wales and Northern Ireland, I mean, it was such a tremendous game. The stats are unbelievable. But as I said, the way that all four players were with each other on stage, it was competitive, but it was friendly. And, you know, when Josh Rock hit that 180 and, the 177, Gerwin Price was handshaking already. It was, you don't see that often from Gerwin. It's usually a bit of needle, but no, it was really good to see.
It's a great final, great for the sport. I mean, Rock was superb all the way through, scoring. Daryl chipped in as well. His finish was great, perfect mix, and it deserved a good final like that, I think, just because it was a good tournament. But obviously, you want to speak about England, don't you?
Well, there's been a lot of backlash, I mean, from legends and fans alike. And what's your take on it? Do you think it was just one of them things with Luke Littler, just not coming into the tournament in the right frame of mind? I mean, he's not a massive fan of playing in Germany to kick off with.
Yeah.
So is that just a continuation of that?
Well, I'll say, first of all, addressing the criticism, absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah. People, I know, obviously, Dennis Priestley made a comment. He's entitled to make his opinion. He's one of the greatest of all time, but it's very unfair. Now, I think there's three main reasons why England didn't do well. I'm trying to think of them now. First of all, the rhythm I mentioned.
Yeah.
The rhythm. I did think that would be a factor. Secondly, the pressure. Everyone, not the two Lukes, everyone else said they're going to win. Just turn up and they're going to win it. No problem at all, right? A lot of pressure. Don't forget, he's still 18 years old. Luke's only in his second, Humphrey's in the second World Cup. So a lot of pressure on them. They just expect to turn up and win it. And that's detrimental to the other teams. And it's a lot of pressure on the two Lukes. And secondly, the crowd. We knew that it was going to be difficult, especially for Luke Littler. And that probably was a factor. So those three main factors were the reason I didn't think they were going to win it. As best two players in the world, undoubtedly, but doesn't make the best team.
There's a lot of parallels to. I was watching some clips back, and when Spain beat the then world number 1 and 2 in Phil Taylor and James Wade, there was a lot of similarities in that. The way that Phil and James were with each other, and the way that the Spanish just seemed to just ride on a crest of the wave and just kept that momentum going and kept egging each other on. And again, the crowd was a factor in that as well, with just supporting the non-English, essentially. But, it just seems that history kind of repeated itself with having the world's number 1 and 2 going out in the knockout stage early on.
It's like the Eurovision Song Contest. Nobody wants us to win.
No.
But I mean, back to that time, I think Wade was putting number 3 in the world and Taylor was obviously the best. It's just a game that maybe they were complacent. I don't know. Spain probably played really well. Doubles format, I spoke to Keith Deller in this in a week. It's almost like, I know it's the same game, it's still darts, but it's almost like pool and snooker. They played on a green base, but they're very different format. And PDC players play this pretty much once a year competitively.
Yeah.
And a lot of other players in the tournament do play on other circuits. I just thought that the three main factors were the reason I didn't think, that come into play. It's a different kettle of fish completely when you're playing doubles, and it proved to be the case. And you see the two teams in the final at the end, they were brilliant, but there were some good performances. Hong Kong, I thought, were impressive.
They were very impressed. I was
Really,
mightily impressed with them too. Yes, they were
really
really good.
good. The camaraderie they had on stage, and then my
Yes.
hoodie was boiling hot, and I made a few points like that. But it's a great, colourful World Cup. Devon was brilliant with Cameron.
Yeah.
There were some great moments. Yeah, I don't think the averages were as high as we'd have hoped, but that's what happens when you're not at the rhythm in World Cup darts. A few teams, I think Republic of Ireland played really well in the first group game. There's some good performances, but a few teams didn't really click. The Canadians didn't click. We thought they'd do better. The Belgians, in the last group game, 3-up, I think, was it against Hong Kong? It was.
Yes.
And 4-3 in the end, yeah. And so there's a few shocks there, but I think the right two teams were in the final. Germany, again, you go back to the Germany-England game where the criticism England got. You look at the stats for the four players, and about the same first nine, about 93, 94. Just that the doubles was better by Germany. They were higher by almost double in the clinical performances. So that was a difference. It's all about taking the shots at the right times, and Germany did that more effectively than the English pair, and that's the difference.
I mean, as Goldie would looking Chain would say if they were fans of darts, averages don't win matches, doubles do.
Yeah, precisely timing, and I don't think England played badly. I just think they didn't play obviously as well as the Bali set themselves individually. But it was a good performance by the Germans who took the chances, and the timing was better. That's all it was really. There wasn't much difference between the scoring by the four players, just that timing when they had, I think, an extra 20% on doubles, which is a big difference, and it obviously proved to be the case.
Yeah. But again, a massive congratulations to Northern Ireland. I mean, Josh Rock played superb, Darryl Gurney played superb. But I was just going to add a little caveat with the All Ireland clash, which again was played in fantastic spirits. I mean, obviously there's been a lot of history. And, we're not a history podcast, but the way that they conducted themselves and the way it was a great advertisement for Irish darts overall.
Absolutely, great game, right spirits, really good contest. I enjoyed that one. It went the way I thought it might go in a close contest, but yeah, it's a great game, and like you said, it was great for Irish sports as an island to have four top players playing on that stage, and it was a credit to them. Really, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So that was the World Cup, which again, tremendous event, and I think once a year having pairs, I think is not enough. I think there needs to be something, but what that might be is a different question entirely. But moving on, the PDC's World Series events moved over to New York.
Yep.
And what a tremendous weekend again.
Yeah, great weekend. I didn't manage to watch it live because it was midnight and I'm too old to watch that. But I've watched it since. Obviously, the reports on the games. Some surprises again.
Yeah.
Luke Humphries winning his first World Series in America. I think he won in New Zealand last year.
Yeah.
So you get high average of air miles per win. It was more obviously for trying to push the sport. I'm glad to see they actually did it in New York time rather than try and accommodate the English and the UK fans, because Friday night, 7 p.m., you're not going to get many New Yorks go out at 4 p.m. to the darts. And they had like 3,000 or 4,000 people in the building. So it was a great event, well supported. Hopefully it'll do great for darts in America as it tries to grow globally. I mean, Luke, great win for Luke, and it was a couple of shocks. Like I think was it Rob got beat 6-0.
Yes, Daniel Albie played tremendous in that game, and
Danny played really well. Yeah. And then Bunting lost. 6-4, I think it was. So you had a couple of American wins there as well, which is what you kind of like. Not so much for Robin for Bunting, but that's what you need really for them to keep interest in it. So
exactly, yeah, you've got that homegrown player. You've got the local support there, and that's what just keeps them tournaments ticking along really well. But to have it at Madison Square Garden, for me, I'm a big sports fan. Love me basketball, love me boxing and stuff like that. And to have it there, I mean, it's in the theatre, not in the main arena, but still to have PDC darts, Madison Square Garden, New York City, that shows you where darts is going now. It's if you talked about that even 10 years ago when the Premier League first started and it was in the small theatres around the place, now it's a world-class draw, and it's just...
Yeah, it was good to see Michael Van Gerwen back again, but it
Yes.
did great. I mean, the press leading up to it, they get there days before the lads do a lot of press, a lot of PR with other companies and radio stations. So it really, it really pushed and got PDC and the event into the local media mainstream, which is obviously the whole point of doing it, really. But yeah, MVG returned, played really well, looked sharp. Good to see for the game.
Yes.
Yeah, some good performances, and hopefully it'll keep growing and it'll push the American side of the game. I think I spoke to was it David Fatima when he did MODUS. He said the distance is a big factor for the CDC, who are doing a great job. But it's just such a large country, and it's to travel like for us to travel to Leicester or was it Basel last year or Wigan. It's not the same as these guys.
No,
They'll have
it's
4 or 5 hour flights. It's and the money isn't there. We're seeing in the purse to justify it, and obviously a lot do have part-time jobs and businesses, and yeah, so it's going to be hard to work out how it does grow much beyond what it is without a huge cash injection, but it's going the right way. And this last weekend really helped as well with a great event which was supported by the locals, so that was good to see.
Yeah, it's always good to see darts doing well in other areas of the world, and especially trying to get into that American market. But again, congratulations goes out to Luke Humphries on winning his first title in America.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, he said he's surprised. Well, I'm surprised. Well, he's only won two. I know he's only been on a couple of years, but he's always obviously dangerous in any event. But it's nice to get these events under your belt. So he won in New Zealand last year. He's going. He's not in Poland this weekend, I don't think, but he'll be going to Australia, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's got another 2 shots at that, and then obviously the finals later this year. But yeah, it's good to see him get another title. It's third title this year, I believe, isn't it?
Masters, Premier
Premier
League.
League.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's third, like say TV, but yeah,
Yeah.
stage. Yeah, so it's great. It's great for him to keep winning things because he is more than one. He is the ambassador, and former world champion. So it's great for the sport, and I think that's why he proposed as well. So it's a nice city for him. So even though
Yes.
Kenny wasn't there this weekend, but it was nice. His parents were there as well. So
Yeah, they're his biggest fans, and you see all the social medias that Luke does and his dad does. Just seeing him in all in places, and for someone, I have my son, and then in a few years' time, whichever path my son chooses, to watch him and support them and to encourage him and seeing him succeed. I mean, that's every parent's dream, and to see it
yeah,
live in action, it must be fantastic for them.
the Littler family. It's been quite a journey for the last almost
Yeah.
same scale as them for a couple of years because. Was his first win? Was it the Grand Prix? Was it his first win, Luke, a couple of years ago? And then he's gone on. Did he win that one? Yeah, and then he went and won the Slammer thing in the world. So it's been quite a journey for the Humphreys household and also for the Littler. So it's it's nice for them to be with him and enjoy watching their son succeed. And yeah, it's a good tournament, really good tournament.
Excellent stuff. So we've got in a lot of people's eyes, their favourite tournament, which is the World Matchplay. And whilst I've been away working, my good friend had a chance to go to Blackpool and to tell people about the history of the tournament.
Padawan AJ sent me to Blackpool. He said to go and have a look at the big one. But for me, the big one is not that. It's the Winter Gardens. Why? Because it's the World Matchplay. We together are going to find out more about it.
As you can see, I'm outside here of the famous Winter Gardens. The PDC World Matchplay has been here since its inception in 1994. It's had 7 sponsors in its time. It's been sponsored by Betfair's current sponsors. But who can you tell me was the first sponsor? It was Proton Cars. I mean, we don't see them knocking about anymore. But it's been here, as I said, since 1994, and there's been plenty of epic contests here.
I'm here in front of the magnificent Blackpool Tower. And you can say many people have been to the top of this tower, but there's only been a few people who have gone to the top of the World Matchplay crown. And one name above everyone else, Philip Douglas Taylor, who won it a fantastic 16 times. That's why the trophy's named after him. But there's only been 2 other people that have won it multiple times. Michael Van Gerwen, and can you guess the other one? It's Mr. Style himself, Rod Harrington, who won it twice in the 90s. But you've got to say, Philip Taylor definitely loves this place. I'm here outside the Golden Mile Amusements. You can say there's been plenty of golden moments at the World Matchplay. You've had nine darters, 2 of them by Phil Taylor, and then you've had Dimitri Vandenberg, Gerwin Price, Wes Newton, and John Parton, but a few that have hit that 9-darter. But what would you say is the most golden shot of the World Matchplay? Well, I'd say it'd be Phil Taylor's shot on the bullseye against James Wade to win the title. If you can remember it, where he hit the 25 and blocked the ball, hit the treble 19, and then went from about 5 foot away, extra, he planted the ball right in the middle. I've got to say, that is the golden shot of the World Matchplay. And let's not forget, there's also the Women's World Matchplay, which is coming into its 4th edition. The first one famously won by Fallon Sharrock, the Queen of the Palace. But the last 2 times it's been won by the bow and arrow, Paul Woodage, who's been in scintillating form as well this year. I say the women's event is getting better and better as the years get on and the different qualifiers. But I think, for me, Paul Woodage is going to be onto a winner. But well, lad, this is all beach. It still is, but where are the donkeys? Oh, speaking of donkeys, Padawan AJ was there last year covering the World Matchplay, but he's on holiday. But I've got to say, I'm really excited for this World Matchplay. I think it's going to be the best one yet. That's your lot. That's all I know about the World Matchplay. But there's one thing for certain. This tournament's going to be the best one in the calendar. That's why it's called the big one. There you go, well done. So for me, my pal, it's over to you.
The Worthington's Champion of Champions is back for another season of exciting qualifying events around the UK and Ireland. The 256 venue champions will play off at the Grand Finals on the 23rd of August at the Depot in Cardiff. The total prize fund is a whopping £32,500, with £10,000 going to the winner. The event captures the magic of the news of the world and is one of dart's best parties. Will you join the list of former winners like Gerwin Price, Johnny Clayton, Jim Williams, Kurt Parry and last year's champion Nick Kenny? Get entering on reddragondarts.com. So thank you very much to Arthur for that unusual look at the World Matchplay, but history is there for a reason, and this tournament, as I said, it's one of my personal favourites. The Winter Gardens is a fantastic venue. I've been there to watch live, and I was there last year covering the event for Darts World, and I've got to say it is a fantastic event.
Are we going there, are we? Do we know? Me and you?
We don't. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what the boss says.
Yeah, it'd be good to go up there. It's only like an hour for me, and it's not obviously the same for you, so it's not too far. Yeah. It's a great event. It's always, it's always well supported. A lot of fans that go there like the Crucible of Snooker. It's a knowledgeable crowd. Yes. They know that it's an intimate, small-ish venue, so you get that intimacy there as well. But yeah, it's prestigious. It's normally, if you ask players what they want to win, it is. Like the world's obviously the Premier League and the match play, they're the most iconic ones. And it kind of like kickstarts the back end of the second half of the season, which is always the busy one. So it starts that off. So yeah, we'll know our final 32 about a week tomorrow, I think, isn't it? Wednesday week.
They've got a few Players Championships events, and then that's when we'll know.
We've got two more take place next Tuesday, Wednesday. I did a piece for Darts World, which is on the website soon, looking at obviously, who's safe and who's looking over the shoulder. So I think right now Ryan Joyce in that last spot, but it's all quite close around there. It could change.
And there's a lot of names that you would expect just due to recent history that might not be in there. I mean, when I read, I think Michael Smith is on the outside of both lists.
Yes.
And again, that is a big name not to be there.
Well, he's I think he's just over 4,000 away from Joyce. He's 17th. Joyce got the last place 16th, so he's 4,000 away. So he's the closest to that last spot. So he needs obviously a good couple of runs in Leicester next week. Barney's, I think, about 13th from that. He's on the periphery, so he's quite close. A big name who's not going to be there, no matter what he does next week, is Dimitri van den Berg.
Yes, that is a former winner, and his nine data there as well.
Last year, and a finalist as well. So,
Yeah.
That was his first title. And he's not going to be there no matter what he wins next week in Leicester. I think even 30 grand he's not going to make it. I'll have to double check, but I'm quite sure he's not. So it's a big miss to not have him there. Michael Smith, I think, is he's got a chance still.
He's got a chance, but he's got to try and just better Ryan Joyce, which Ryan Joyce is in some good form as well. He's winning a lot of money on the Euro tours. He's doing well in there, and again, on the floor, he's one of the more dangerous players. So again, it's out of Michael's hands. But as long as it's going to be a real shock not to see him there.
If he wins both, he wins both events. It's in his hands, really. But I think last time they had 3 player championships in Leicester, and Ryan Joyce went out the first round in the first 2, and Michael got some ground back, and then I think he got to the last 16 or Ryan, and then that took the pressure a bit. But I think it was 6.5 grand he was behind, so he's closed the gap a little bit. Richie Edhouse and Ratajski are just like below Smith, a couple of grand below. So if they won one of the events, they're just below reigning European champion. And Ratajski's obviously, I think, semi-finalist there. I think he was. So you got a couple of big names there who could be missing out, but it's going to be a strong field. The only one that on the left-hand side of the draw, you could have NAPA and Rock changing places, a few grand between them, which they're both being it anyway. Just that was mean one's seeded, one's not. So it's NAPA right now, so he's going to be seeded. But if Rock jumps over him, he'll have on paper the lesser.
The
easier game.
If you are a seeded player, and you're looking at who would you not want to play against, in the first round, both of them, you're going, it's going to be a tough one.
Well, Van Veen, Josh Rock, I think anyone from Gilding on the right hand side is 10th is safe, really. And then you're looking at, it's not going to change that much because only 2 events. But I mean, a couple of board finals for 1 or 2, they should be all right. The guys in 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th kind of positions. I think Ricardo's, is he 15th? And I think Barney's 14th. So it is there's a couple of grand there, which again is, you have to get to board finals with it. But, it's going to be an interesting day Tuesday. And then obviously Wednesday is when they're all watching Darts Connect and praying for somebody to beat that guy in that. And it's a nervy end. So, it'll be quite interesting to see it all pan out next week. I'm sure they'll be following it. I'll be following it definitely.
Definitely. That is one definitely to look forward to.
Yeah.
So that's it for the PDC, but we now move our attentions over to the WDF.
WDF News.
Okay.
And we've had the Six Nations, and it was on the Welsh television on S4C, and I mean, barring the language difference, I mean, I thought the coverage was excellent of the event.
Did you not find the link to do it in the English commentary then?
Yes, there was the option as well, but to have the Six Nations on the TV again, I mean, it's the first time in a long time. I mean, you see clips from the 80s, I think, and that's the nearest we've had. But again, all Six Nations played some really good stuff, but England doubled up and they won the men's and the women's Six Nations events with some really good darts.
Yeah, I think Tom Sykes for England was magnificent. Charles Bassett played well. So I mean the women obviously with Dieter, I think Steph Clark, and it was Laura Turner who won the singles tournament as well.
Yes.
So it's a good weekend for her. And then I think Jimmy Van Shee won the men's.
Yeah.
On a Sunday. Yeah, it's enjoyable. I really enjoyed watching it. It was good. Good tournament. The final went a bit one way in the end. It was looking close for a while, but obviously then England got the push on, and then I think they ran out. I think was it 8? Was it 30? Was it first 2 now? I think was it 13-8?
13-8. Yeah.
Yeah.
And and having someone like Chaz Bastow, who is they're all tremendous players, but to have that Chaz Barstow winning the last leg to win the tournament, it
Yeah,
just shows the depth that the England squad had. I mean, you have Tom Sykes, who's a human highlight reel sometimes,
he played
and
really,
then
really.
yeah, and Jard Cole and Chaz Barstow, and that is a strong, strong team.
Yeah, it's a strong quintet. It's 5, yeah, and ladies had 3 plays. Yeah, really good. Really, really played well. Stepped up to the mark. I got to watch semi-final and the final. Thoroughly entertaining, and yeah, it was great. I did a report on it afterwards, and delighted for the lads. Really, really good showing. The best team won. So hopefully, I went to that club. I recognised it because I did an exhibition with Jose de Souza, and
Oh wow, that's a name from the
yeah,
past.
yeah, it was only a couple of years ago. We
Yeah.
went down. It was Ryan Searle and Jose who did an exhibition down there because I thought I recognise this place, and it's Merthyr Tydfil, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so I went there before. So it's a good little venue, great little setup. The practice room is only tiny, so I'm not sure they managed to cram all the players from 6 nations of 8 and 8 in each team in there, but sardines. But yeah, it's a really good stage, really good setup, and like you said, it was produced really well. I thought the coverage was excellent, and obviously the commentary in 2 languages, and it was a well organised tournament, and yeah, and luckily for us, England snatched it back. I think the Welsh had it last year, didn't they? In
Yes.
Ireland, women and the men, they won it in Ireland, didn't they? And then obviously England got it back. So yeah, as a neutral, well, not a neutral, it was a good tournament, and it was again a good addition to the calendar each year. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and hopefully, the lessons are learned in terms of, having this event on TV, because it just gives them players who are on the potential of being into the England squad or county darts,
Yeah,
because people choose to do county to try and get into that England team. I mean, this would be a massive opportunity for them, and I think they should be more done for events. I mean, you've got the Three Nations and things. It's the Tri Nations, should I say?
yeah.
I think these are television events. Definitely, if they find the right company to help out, then I can't see why not.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which company it was. Was it S4C that streamed it,
Yes.
wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's like the Welsh BBC, isn't it, basically?
Exactly. Yes.
They streamed it. So it's only Professor set up, and he got like Pluto TV doing the MODUS and the seniors, which is great. I watched that as well. We'll move on to that probably later. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, these streams the quality of these streams are really, really good. I mean, you go back like 5, 6 years and it was grainy and that, and unless it's on Sky or ITV, it wasn't worth really watching it. But yeah, really, I didn't know what to expect when I tuned in the other week for it, but it was great coverage, clear screen. Yeah, really, really good. So hopefully more platforms are available then to stream these events, because we then get to see players that we wouldn't ordinarily see, which is really good.
So that's the WDF for now. But as we've mentioned, one of the other events that was going off at Portsmouth was the World Seniors.
World Senior Darts Tour news.
Yeah, really enjoyed that. Watched it all. Great day of darts. Yeah, the women's final was on the Saturday night. You had Phil Taylor doing a Q&A meet and greet on Saturday afternoon, and then you got the event itself on Sunday. Really enjoyed it. Kicked off, I think was it Trina first? I'm trying to think.
Yes.
I think yeah, Trina beat Steve Beaton. She got a lot of some criticism for being in it. I will obviously now at quick point say that we send our condolences to Rob Thornton, who we now know
Of course. Yeah.
had lost his wife Christine, and that's why he pulled out. Hopefully he's back soon, and we wish him all our best.
We do. Yes, all here at Darts World wish our best for
Yeah.
the Thornton family.
But yeah, Trina came in, played well, and then there's some not shocks as such, because it's hard to know with these ones. I mean, people say like it's a shock that Bayern didn't win, but I mean, Ross Montgomery is the World Seniors champion. He's on a tour recently himself as well. It's not like he's been like off it, and he's still throwing some very good darts. And the field was strong, and it was hard to pick a winner.
Yeah.
Hendo was obviously in with a shout. Howson won this champion of champions last time out. I was saying Barney because he's a current tour card player, but you had King and Beaton, Whitlock, who just lost the tour cards several months ago. So it was wide open, and I think the right player who played the best over the day won in the final. Ross Montgomery, I think he was excellent all day, and much deserved another seniors crown.
Yes, I mean, I've known Ross for many years. We've travelled all over to various summits when he was in the BDO, and then when he qualified for a tour card. I mean, it was a bit of a shock for some people because of his allegiance to the BDO WDF. But no, he did well for himself in the PDC. But now going into the seniors, I think he's just found a new lease for his love of darts.
Yeah, he's an excellent player. Whether he's happy with how he got on the Pro Tour, he's probably a better player than some of the results suggest. But again, it's a tough circuit that, and
Yeah.
you're going to play world class players week in week out, and sometimes the draws come in favourable. I think Whitlock said it about sort of draws he got were favourable. You know, you're facing like Anderson or Wright or two Luke's first round, and it can be hard. But yeah, Ross is a very, very, very good player, and again, he proved that by winning against a strong field. It was, some good players there, and it was wide open. There was 4 or 5 that, were touted to win it. But yeah, he played the best darts and survived the scare, I think, against Trina, wasn't it? When he was 3 up and she raced back to 3-3, and then he got it 4-3 at the end.
Yeah. And Trina again, is a tremendous player. That's she's one of the great ambassadors of the game, and proved her worth in the event. Obviously, with the loss of Robin Thornton in the tournament, but congratulations to Ross Montgomery. He's really took the World Seniors darts to stride.
Yeah, he's world champ now. I think the World Seniors match play was announced for it was November. Epsom Racecourse?
Yes.
So again, they've got Phil Taylor doing a Q&A, and I think you've got like a Legends lunch you can go along to meet the players. Q&A with Phil Taylor, you get premier seats, so that's another package there that the World Seniors are offering, which is fantastic. And again, it's a really strong lineup, and it's going to be another great tournament. So a new venue as well, so it should be interesting. It was York, I think, last year, wasn't it? York,
yes, the Barbican. Yes,
I was at that one. Yeah. So there'll be the same face there again this year, and hopefully it'll be just as good in terms of quality. I'm sure it will be. Sure will, because it was really enjoyable last week. Really enjoyed it.
So that was the World Seniors, but staying in Portsmouth, we now put our attention to the MODUS Super Series.
MODUS Super Series news.
So the MODUS Super Series continues, and we've had a fair few weeks of darts to catch up on, and obviously we had Women's Week as well. But there's been some fantastic winners, with the Joker winning one, and then Shane McGurk, then Andy Hamilton and Gallas.
Jeff Smith as well, yeah.
And so Jeff Smith, yeah.
Some great winners, yeah. And then Gemma winning the women's last week. And now we're in week 7, I believe now, of Series 11. So it's shaping up nicely. Some good players in that one. I think you got Daryl Fitton, I think, taking part in that one. Jada Cole stepped in for Bjorn. And then James Richardson is also in it.
Yeah.
Aaron Turner was down supporting his wife at the Six Nations and get a good weekend down there.
And making the most of it with going to Portsmouth, and Laura played in ladies week in the final, and then playing the next week.
Yeah, he's down there for that. So I think James and Aaron kick off on Thursday afternoon. They join Group C, I think it is. But yeah, it's really motoring. There's been some great games, some great winners, and we're all just over now halfway through that series now. So it's shaping up quite nicely.
And I mean, it's been an amazing opportunity for players. I mean, obviously you've got a few players who are repeat participants, but it does open the doors with the vaults. And I had a chance of speaking to one of my good friends who won one of the vault winning events to qualify for the MODUS Super Series, and it's one of my Lancashire compatriots, Steve Green. And I've got an interview that I had with him here now. Recently, we had the qualifiers up and down the country for the next phase of the MODUS Super Series, and I've got the opportunity to speak to one of the qualifiers. It's Lancashire's own Steve Green. How are we doing today?
I'm good, thanks, Anthony. How are you?
Yes, all good, all good. Busy trip down in Cornwall, but you wasn't there. But just for the viewers that are watching, Steve and I have known each other for too many years, let's just say.
A lot of years, yeah.
A lot of years. So we started playing in pub leagues together in different teams, and then progressing through Super Leagues, and we both play for Lancashire. But Steve, you're going into the Modus Super Series very soon, and you went through the qualifiers, and you had an epic run, as it were.
Yeah, it was a very good run. A couple of the early rounds, my opponents did have an opportunity to beat me. Unfortunately, they didn't take, or fortunately, I should say, for me, that they didn't take
Fortunately for you, yeah.
Yeah, fortunately for me, they didn't take those opportunities, and I managed to do that. And yeah, it just progressed from there. It was a good run.
It was an excellent run, and you have been in some tremendous form. You've putting yourself into the Lancashire A team. I mean, and the Lancashire is a real hotbed for darts anyway, with all the various tournaments over the past few years with ADC. But you seem to really have come into your own in the vaults, especially at Pendlebury.
Yeah, so it's been really good. I've progressed, gradually brought my game up to where it is now, and playing the likes of Matt Clark, Cal Sneed. You've been to them yourself. You know the sort of standards that you get in them, and it's very testing, and it's been great fun, and helping to run the Pendlebury one as well has helped me in that sense to get a better understanding of how they work and what I need to do to go from one to the next, and as you said, progress into the MODUS Super Series. So it's been good.
Yeah, and just touching on the running and playing, when they had the Red Dragon Singles League, when I helped run them, for me, I found it very, very good because you can set your boards up, and you concentrate on making sure everything's fine and you got everything ready, and then you can just kind of go, right, I'm a player now, and you're not there you're not worrying about the playing as much when you go into the events. That's how I found it, and the playing kind of was like a side thing to making sure everything else was going. So you was kind of in autopilot, and you play your best darts when you're in autopilot. Did you find that, and towards the end of the season, when there might have been a chance of being high in the rankings, was the nerves then, or was it just set everything up, get going?
No, it was just a case of getting stuff set up, concentrating on how it's running and making sure I'm helping Curtis, who co-runs it, making sure that all the boards are set up and the groups are in and everyone's checked in. And like you say, just concentrating then on your darts, but having that as a slight distraction helps relax and chill a little bit. And that way then I find being in a relaxed state helps my better darts come out.
Yes, and as we said, your form has been excellent, not just in county where you're now in the A team, but in other tournaments as well. You're always going into the action end of the tournaments.
Yeah, it's been a quick learning curve in that respect from getting into the Lancashire A team. It wasn't essentially a goal to do that, but it's been a nice surprise to be able to have that call up. And it's helped getting into the latter stages then of competitions, because I'm playing better players and having to improve my darts. And it's just been a great stepping stone. And I can't say enough really about how it's been.
I mean, as we've said many times, steel sharpens steel. So if you're going up against really good players, you're going to bring your game up. But you are now joining a long line of formidable Lancashire players that have graced the MODUS Super Series stage. Brad Brooks, Dave Evans, Scott Taylor, Carl Sneed, a certain Luke Littler. And you've got Dave Eyre playing very soon as well. A lot of players in that Lancashire squad are now going into MODUS Super Series. Do you think for me personally, I think the Northwest is the toughest area to qualify from?
Definitely. Like you say, the list of names that you've read off there. Carl's playing Challenge Tour. He's been invited to Pro Tour events. Dave recently won a weekly title on the MODUS Super Series. Dave Eyre's been around for a very long time, and he's going to be making.
He tells us.
So he tells us, yeah. He's been around for a very long time in terms of playing not just for Lancashire, but at high quality darts, and to be up there with them now, and it's an honour really to be anything. I mean, it's something to look forward to, and something I'm hopefully going to kick on from as well.
Yes, so going on from there, I mean, obviously this is going to be your debut week, and sometimes, people have a rough week. Sometimes they excel and they love being on that stage. They find their comfort zone very quickly. But not just immediately from that week, but, looking towards the second half of the year, what are your aspirations? Is it just concentrating on vaults and hopefully going to MODUS, or are you looking at going to more tournaments further afield?
Yeah, I mean, focusing on the vaults as a primary one, that's the main section of darts that I play now, along with Super League and County. The vaults come around every week. You've got a competition to look forward to at least every week, if not, 2 or 3 events, because there's quite a fair few local to where we're based in Pendlebury. You've got Bury,
Stockport, and
Stockport. There's so many around nowadays. So that would be my primary goal, is to see if I can try and get to more of those. Family life pending.
Yes, of course. You still a young family.
Yeah, 6-year-old and my wife Tammy, who's disabled, unfortunately. So I've got to work things around that. So it's going to be tough, but you take the rough with the smooth, and you try and work things around. So trying to get to more competitions will be the key aspect. I'm trying to keep my form going to when I get my date through for MODUS and go up and try and do my best there.
Excellent stuff. And on behalf of not just Darts World, but upon just myself, really, having known you for so long, it's really good to see one of your mates gracing the MODUS Super Series stage, and I wish you all the very best.
Appreciate that, Andy. Thank you very much.
No problem. All the best.
Right.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So let me just stop that.
Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah. So it's we wish Steve all the best of luck with his debut at the MODUS Super Series, and as I said, it's an opportunity he would probably never have thought of, but by playing well in the vaults and then qualifying for the finals and winning the finals, he's now got a trip to Portsmouth.
Yeah, it's a great initiative that MODUS offer places to the vault and the ADC, and these players then get it, obviously exposure on Pluto TV and play on a big stage in front of a live crowd on the Saturdays, and also it's all streamed anyway, so good exposure for them. So yeah, a great initiative, and hopefully more players will have a crack at the vault and try and get onto the MODUS, and then that can be a platform for bigger things, really. All that exposure. Yeah,
indeed. And speaking of going on to bigger things, I mean, darts is becoming as popular as it ever was in the late 70s, early 80s, and now I think it's in one of the biggest upswings. And with that, you've got many more players and people taking up the game of darts, and most of them do online, but there's a shop that's offering a different alternative than just your regular kind of dart shop, and I had the opportunity of going to that shop, and I've got a little video here.
Hello once again. As you can see, we are on a NAPA Auto Parts Open Road special. For the past few weeks, I've been working at the National Distribution Centre in Rotherham, 1 million square foot of all your automotive needs. But up the road in Ossett, near Wakefield and Leeds area, there is a new dart shop called Pinnacle Darts. It was opened by Charlie Murphy, who we had the interview with on the profile, and I got to saw at the Influencers event at the MODUS Super Series not so long ago. So it's been opened by Charlie, it's been opened a few weeks now. I've seen the videos, the facilities look really good. You've got all your needs for darting, starting to professional level. So we'll go and head up and see what indeed the shop is like.
Pinnacle Darts, 11 Wellgate in Ossett, and that's in Wakefield, WF5 8NS. And as you can see, it is right in the heart of the town centre. And looking into the shop, you've got all the major brands there: Winmore, Red Dragon, Unicorn, Mission, all of it. And as you can see there, one of the owners, Craig, is stocking up ready for a busy day. I had a chance of speaking with Craig here.
So I'm here at Pinnacle Darts in Oxford. I'm here with the owner, Craig. How are we doing today?
I'm good, mate. Nice to meet you.
So you've been open 8 weeks.
8 weeks today, yeah.
But there's been a lot in the build-up to that 8 weeks. I mean, you've seen a few pop-up shops and online, like, you know, if you follow all the darts pages on Facebook. But for you guys, this has been a real development and a real long-term.
Yeah, I think there's about 2 or 3 dart shops popping up a week at the minute, isn't there? You know. So no, look for us. This has been quite a long plan in the works. I'd say 12 to 18 months.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy Craig, you know. Yeah, listen, Pinnacle Darts has even working on the name and the branding took so long for us. It was a lot of sleepless nights just going through names and certainly the branding as well. And that's kind of a lot that we're receiving in terms of positive feedback of people of asking, is this your first shop? You know, so or how many shops do you have essentially? So yeah, which
is
you
a
know,
strong statement. I mean, you've opened a first shop and you've already got people going, have you got more shops? Which shows that this brand could literally go anywhere. And it's due to the name, because a lot of the pop-up shops have got regional names, which restricts them, whereas for yourself.
Exactly. You could take Pinnacle Darts absolutely anywhere. So yeah, we've had a good long think about this. And like for myself personally, look, I'm 35 and I've been a fan of darts since a very young age, of the age of 6 or 7 years old. So, look, when darts first came onto Sky Sports, I think it was in the mid-90s, I was just kind of hooked in. You had these characters on there, such as, you know, Keith Deller, who would, to me, would throw chalk all over the board, and I didn't quite understand that. You'd have Rod Harrington, who looked like he'd just come from a wedding with his tie on. Shane Burgess with a very, very distinct throw. So. I think a player for me who kind of drew me in, kind of based around the hype, was not many people remember the name, but it was Peter Everson, and I think the Fen Tiger. Is he still playing darts now?
Still does bits.
Does he?
Yeah.
It would have been good to see him on the seniors, you know. So hopefully that can happen. But it was for him that he was the player who sort of drew me into darts at that young age, as well as all the interesting characters as well. So, like for me and Craig, lifelong darts fans.
Yeah, I mean, when the PDC first started, he brought in that boxing, wrestling elements with the walk-ons. And it's just completely different. And it grabbed your attention, and as you said, you have all these characters. But just moving back onto where you started, so this passion of darts has always been there, and you're a student of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You understand different aspects of
different
products and things, and now you're putting all this together into this shop where, yes, you're a shop where you've got all your darts, flight stems, accessories, dartboards, but you provide a better service.
I would certainly like to think so, based on the feedback that we received in these 8 weeks. Like I said, you know, I'm a big student of the game, as is my buddy Craig, and you know, my young son, who's just turned 14, is a promising darts player as well. So there was the passion from him, which obviously spurred me on to as well to essentially build something a bit different to what everybody else is doing. That was kind of my motivation. So in here we have something which has been really, really well received. Is obviously the try before you buy service, where we try our very best to find the correct dart for all our customers. So as you saw this morning, there was a young lad in here who he was having problems with fishtailing, and we set him up with different configurations, and he went away with his dad very happy. He came from Doncaster. We've had people come from Scotland, from Wales. There was a chap who saw us on TikTok in America. He came over to watch the darts at the Leeds Direct Arena and came over to see us, and he was... the American said that he was stoked to be here. But so it was, you know, look, it's been absolutely incredible in these 8 weeks, and this is a family-run business, and we you know, try to welcome our customers like they're a part of the family. There's a gentleman who comes in every single day. He's 83 years old in his wheelchair. You know, he comes in with his coffee. We'll retrieve his darts from him every time. You know, and he's even got a Pinnacle Dart shirt and a hat as well. He absolutely loves it. So it's a big
one of the team.
It's a big family.
Yeah.
You know.
The Pinnacle is obviously a great name for a business, but you're trying to look at yourselves as the pinnacle of what darts customer service should be.
I'd certainly like to think so. And like I say, we've been open 8 weeks, and you know, I think you know, for us, is never take his eye off the ball. Complacency, you know, that can be a killer and a downfall. So we're always listening to feedback from as many people. I ask, you know, a lot of questions to people. What do you think about this? You know, what do you think about that? So, yeah, we try to do everything we can.
And you had your opening with Charlie Murphy.
Absolutely.
Who's big on TikTok and YouTube. And he was at the recent influencers event in Portsmouth.
Did you notice was on his shirt as well?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so you've got a good working relationship.
Yep.
And how was that experience planning and strategizing of getting someone to open the shop?
It was very stressful. I will say that. But no, look, with Charlie, he's a fantastic fella, great human being, and we're absolutely delighted to be working with him and sponsoring him as well. And look, that opening day was unbelievable. You know, he's got his gold placard up there, and I bought his Gen 1 darts from him, and I says I'll buy them if I can have 100, the 100 set out of 100. So we'll keep building his let's say his merch up there.
And as his stock rises, I'm sure the stock will rise in them as well.
Well, to be fair, I've had a lot of people asking me to buy them. I'm naming a price. I just said no, they're not for sale. You know, but you know, yeah, delighted to be working with Charlie. And we just kicked it off straight away. You know, class him as a friend now. You know. Yeah.
And obviously you've got yourself and the other Craig in the shop, but you also have darts coaches in, and you do coaching sessions, which is again something that not every dart shop has.
No, so we have obviously we've done quite a lot in a short space of time, and that will continue to grow. But we are working with Charlie Mamby. He started off with some one-to-ones, and had basically put out a post as a register and interest, and it exploded. So we're just basically working through the people who registered that interest, all different ages and abilities. Fantastic to see. But what is happening? From late June, early July will be youth and group sessions from here.
Summer school.
Yeah. So we've had some incredible young players come through our doors. Hugely exciting. Yeah. So yeah, youth and junior group sessions will be starting. So yeah, hugely excited about that.
That's massive. That's for me. As I'm thinking back when I started playing, I just went into a pub. I was like, do you have a darts team? And they went, yeah, like kind of joined, like, if you want. Whereas now, the youth, it's got so many entries into it where you've got the JDC, you've got different academies, and now summer schools as well. And it's just getting more and more exciting for the youth darts.
I think the seniors as well. I'm actually quite passionate about the seniors.
Yes.
As we mentioned, you know, about Peter Everson, I'd love to see him on the seniors. Just looking at that kind of pool. Our local pub, I took down one of Oscar's, my son's Blade 6 boards and a surround. They had like an old battered cabinet in there, and from there, the local now has 2 established teams within 6 months. It's great to see.
Yeah.
So long may that continue as well.
Yeah, and obviously with the ADC vaults, I mean they're everywhere. So get on Darts Atlas, put your postcode in, you can find a tournament within 25 miles if you want. Yeah. But for yourselves, I mean, what's the future? I mean, obviously you're here now, but what's your long-term goals, short-term goals?
Long-term goals, you know, based on our name, the Pinnacle. We want to go to the top, obviously. So, yeah, we'd love to obviously secure more locations when the time's right. The website will be functional from the end of June. Fingers crossed. Like I say, look, within 8 weeks. We have coaching, groups are starting, website, and yeah, the reception we've received from everybody has been astounding. We're just really, really grateful. Yeah.
Well, on behalf of Darts World, we wish you all the very best.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
So, whilst we're setting up, we could see that you can see there's a festival outside, and
There's some customers coming in. They've come from Leeds. This is Jack and his father Chris. Jack's taking up the game, so he's trying out some different darts to purchase. They had a budget, but you can see here they were doing a try before you buy. Obviously, when you're buying something like this, and especially if it's a first set of darts, you want to make sure they're the right one. So there, they were looking at various options, and he said he likes the weight of 24 grams, but he wanted something a little bit heavy, and as you can see there, they've got a wide range of products. Jack, in particular, wanted a product that had the Swiss point darts. And there we go, he's trying them out, and he seems to be very happy with this setup. So what they do here is they ask him to throw at separate parts of the board, so not to damage any barrels for potential future sales, but you still get an eye of how the dart is performing with their style of throw. And I've got to say, Jack's got a very good throw indeed. Look at that. And this was the set that they decided to buy in the end, and they got a few accessories as well. And I got to speak to Jack's dad, Chris, here.
So I'm here with Chris, who's come with his son Jack here to get a set of darts. And what was your expectations coming to the shop?
Yeah, we just basically looked for a darts shop online and found you guys and drove here. We come from Leeds, and it was quite easy to find.
And in terms of the service, I mean, obviously you had a few trials, a few sets of darts, or Jack did, should we say? And but overall, what was your expectations of the service? I mean, were you expecting to have a try for darts?
We weren't, no. We literally came in looking for a new set of darts, and they spent, a good 15-20 minutes with us. Literally let us have, as much time as we wanted to select a good set of darts.
Excellent stuff, and within budget.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we had £60 budget. They didn't try and sell us something that was overpriced. They got the weights right. And we ended up paying £39.99 for a set of darts.
Happy days, happy days. So, would you recommend this experience?
Absolutely, yeah. Very friendly service.
There we go. What more can you say? So I'm here with the legend that is Peter at Pinnacle Darts. How are we doing today?
Good. Yeah, champion. Yeah.
So I believe you come here every day.
I do.
What brings you here every day?
I'm Craig. I'm Craig. That's it. I am Craig. Every day I come, and younger Craig as well.
And younger Craig.
Younger Craig as well. No. Because you're not here as much as what this Craig is here.
So, how do you feel that Pinnacle Darts has cemented itself in the community?
I think this is the best thing that's happened to Ossett. This shop. Without a doubt. When it was first advertised as being a dart shop, I said, that's going to go well. And look at it. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
And because it's not just a shop where people...
Oh, it's not. No. Sometimes they might make coffee.
They might make coffee. We'll have to get one of them on a barista course, maybe.
I think by the cost for it. Yeah, no, it's absolutely brilliant. I love it this way. And I love the staff. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Just occasionally I get cross with one of them.
Oh, really? No discount code. But Peter, it's been a tremendous pleasure to meet you.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.
It's just a pleasure to come in, to be alive to come into this shop. That's the main thing, isn't it? Yeah. I come in every day just to make sure that they're doing the job properly.
You're the gaffer that's...
Right, yeah, on the quiet.
Right, okay. That's your secret's safe with me. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds like.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, on reflection, coming to this shop, it's got everything you need. It's got all the darts you need, all the accessories, etc. You've got your practice lanes as well, which are £12 for 55 minutes. And here you've got 3 people playing against each other at the same time using one of the lanes. And you can see Oscar is having a practice himself. But overall, I think this style of dart shop is going to be the future of darts. And it's, as I said, it's a real bed of the community. I'd like to thank Pinnacle Darts for their time, and we wish them all the very best of luck. But where to next? So that was my visit to Pinnacle Darts in Ossett, and first-hand experience. Seeing the lanes that they've got there with all the auto scoring, and with people buying darts and trying them out. It did take me back to way back when. I mean, reminds me of my old days with old Arthur Shillin, where he was telling me to try darts out and before I buy them. But it seems, as things go out of fashion, they come back into fashion, as so it seems.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great concept. You can go along there and you can actually try darts out rather than order them online. Unless you're getting the same set you had before, you know exactly what you're thrown with. But for anybody new taking up the game, it's great to get the right advice. Obviously, a dart has to be the right weight for you. It's all individually based, the right feel. So you have that chance to go there and just throw them, make sure it feels all right before you buy. It's a lot of money to some people, like £50-60. So it's a great initiative doing there. So long may it continue.
Indeed, and we'd like to thank the guys at Pinnacle for inviting us down. But staying on the road, as it were, we now go on to the open road with events that are happening in July. So there we are. That's all the events for the month of July. And if you are indeed playing events, or if you are planning events and you need a bit of a boost from us, make sure you drop us an email at editor@dartsworld.com. Or if you know of any exhibitions, and again, you want to promote them exhibitions, drop us an email at editor@dartsworld.com. And make sure you get all the information needed from dartsworld.com. So, as we said, that is it for today's show. It's been action-packed couple of weeks, but now, as you said in the preview for the World Match Play, it's only going to get busier.
Yeah, it's kind of bookended, isn't it? The PDC season, especially, it's most of the big tournaments, the TV majors are the second half of the year, so it kind of like the Match Play kind of starts that ball rolling on the trip to Ali Pali, or the journey to Ali Pali. Sorry, so you got a lot of big tournaments now, and all kind of crammed in after one another. With obviously some lads going to Australia, New Zealand as well.
Yeah,
Pro Tours, European Tours, and all the other organisations having events. It's non-stop. But yeah, it's going to be good. Going to be good.
There is no off season anymore, unfortunately.
No. The match play, say this time next week, or this time tomorrow next week. Sorry, we'll know who the lineup's going to be, and the draw will be obviously out soon. So it's going to be exciting. Another great tournament where stars will emerge and debutants will take part, and it's going to be again. Like, I don't think a match play's ever disappointed. It's always been with some kind of drama, excitement. So I'm sure we'll have it again this year.
Indeed we will. So from AJ Urmston-Toft
and Paul Woodage,
that is your edition of the Darts World.
Thank you, mate.
Take care.